All right. All
Hello,
right.
Miss Janila.
Hello, Vanda, and Happy New Year. Happy 2025. We are back for our Ask the Expert series.
Yay.
We are your host, Janila Brown and Vanda Crossley. Our other third party, Teresa Wilkes, is not able to join us today, but she will be back in March. Um, we started this series last year and are looking to just continue it on. It's an opportunity for you, uh, the viewers, our clients, to ask real estate questions and get them answered. It's a very safe space. No question is too dumb. And we want to make sure that you are educated and empowered to have good success in all your real estate ventures. I am Janila Brown. I am a real estate entrepreneur that started flipping houses in 2018. I currently serve as the community as a realtor with a focus on residential buyers, veterans, and investors. Sharing knowledge and empowering others to experience that good success in real estate pursuits is my mission. And I love Jesus, family time, decorating, volunteer work, and some good food. Very much a foodie. Also joining me via Zoom, you will hear her voice if you're tuning in via live via Instagram, is Vanda Crossley. Vanda Crossley is not only a dedicated realtor and mentor, but also a licensed Texas lender with Loan Factory, offering a unique advantage to home buyers and homeowners alike. With expertise in both real estate and financing, she helps clients navigate the home buying process with ease and whether they are purchasing, investing, or refinancing. So please feel free to reach out to us whenever you feel, if you fit into any of those categories, we would be happy to assist you. But now we are going to get into our contents for today. Today we are talking about loving your home. Each series, we are going to start with a market update from our wonderful lender, Vanda Crossley. So, uh, Vanda, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, thank you for that introduction. So today is February, what is today's date? No, it's not the 12th. Oh my God, a couple days before Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Hope someone loves you and you love someone else. That's what life is all about. But as of today, the mortgage rate is kind of taking an upward trend. We're at 7.04%. It's up from 6.81%, which was in November 2024. So the increase reflects broader economic factors affecting interest rate. As you know, we have a new president, and a lot of people some love it, some don't like it, whatever your flavor is. um, we have to go with the flow. We are living in the United States, and homeownership is still a great buy, no matter what the interest rate is. So I say that, and if you're paying rent, rent is 100%. So if you look at 100% interest rate and you look at 7%, 7% is still good. We may not ever get down to the 3 and 4 again that we had during the pandemic. But still, you're making your landlord rich. Why not be your own landlord and do what you want with your home and have that home in your family and keep it for generational wealth? So the affordability in Houston, the average price is now about 400,000. There are homes you can still get for 300,000, but they're not going to be probably what you're looking for as far as move-in ready. You might have to put a little work in them, but there are loans out there, it's like the 203K loan that can help you to fix up those houses and to get them to that status of the 200,000, $400,000 home. So those are some options. And even though I am a lender, I will say I refer my clients first to NACA because NACA does have the best rate for interest rates, and they will help you get ready. A lot of people don't want to go through that process, and they still want the traditional, not going through NACA and want to come through me, which is fine, but I still say go to NACA first. And Janila and I can both help you to get that process started and can be your advisors on that.
Absolutely wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that market update. I wholeheartedly agree. Start with NACA, go through the process. It's well worth it for the education alone about the home buying process, but the benefits of buying with NACA. So yeah, just get started. Just get started. So thank you so much for that market update. We are going to now move into our hot topics. So lots of things are going on in the market. Lots of rules are changing in regards to FHA programs, the housing market, and things like that. Vanda, do you have anything in regards to anything that you're seeing in the market currently that is a um, or something that you've come across in the news that is something that you wanted to mention today?
Nothing in the news, but for people who are self-employed and may have mattress money, their credit is not the best, but they are making money. It may not be reflected on their income taxes. I do have a program for seller finance, and that doesn't necessarily mean that the home seller is going to finance it, but I have people that can buy that home for the buyer, and then you pay that seller. I'm sorry, the seller, instead of paying the bank, because maybe they don't qualify with the bank and the lender's criteria. But I have people, as long as they have 20% down, that will finance you. So if that's of interest to anybody, reach out to me. I'm with Loan Factory, but my cell number is 773-678-1085.
Perfect. Perfect. Absolutely. That's definitely a hot topic right now is how can I buy? In a lot of self-employed persons as the tax structure changes, the ability, we had the recent BOI filing and that's still going through the court legal process and things like that. So business owners are, looking for ways to both save money, save on taxes, as well as be able to stay open, especially small businesses. And so seeing that and being able to find affordability in the housing market is crucial right now. And there's nothing like home ownership. And so, really, just taking a look at that, please know that there are options available to you through the seller financing with Vanda. So, please reach out to her if you have any uh, concerns. I am going to try to get us up on Spotify so that you can tune in later. Vanda has her YouTube channel where you will be able to tune into this later, take notes, take down our information, and make sure that you reach out to us so that we can get you the assistance that you need. We'd be happy to help. Vanda, can you give your YouTube channel?
It's Vanda Crossley.
Yeah.
Nothing fancy, just Vanda Crossley. Um, I do have one maybe living in Katy, Texas. So if you look me up, Vanda Crossley or living in Katy, Texas.
Perfect. Perfect.
And
So
then
yes,
we have,
definitely.
I was gonna say
Oh,
we
go
have
ahead.
different channels on there. So I do have the Ask the Expert podcast on there as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. So yes, we will have that so that you can review. If you're not able to tune in, or you're tuning in and you're at work or busy, we would be happy to make sure that you get that information. So you will have recordings to follow up. Going forward, please register on eventbrite.com and just search Ask the Experts, and we will pull right up. And when you register, you will get the recording sent to you directly to your inbox. So please be sure to do that. And thank you so much. Moving on, we are now going to get into our topic of loving your home. This is February, so we know we're coming into spring season, which in real estate is considered busy season. Spring going into summer, people are moving over the summer, typically because that's when school is out. So it makes the transition a lot easier, and everyone's looking to get into their home, moved in before the next semester of school starts. And so as we approach that, we want to take a look at what it takes to really prepare your home for the market. So you've got a little bit of time if you're considering selling and you want to take advantage of the late spring, early summer selling season, then this is a good time to really evaluate your home and start making the necessary changes, accommodations, if you want to make repairs, just talking to a professional to figure out what you need to do. In this market, you can sell your home without making repairs. There are plenty of investors ready to snatch up your property. Absolutely. However, determining what repairs actually need to be made in order to make the difference between going with an investor and maybe selling for a little bit less than market value, as opposed to going with making a few repairs and getting it ready for retail market. And so we're going to go through a couple of things in talking with both stagers, home organizers, and photographers. Got some answers to some questions that are looming. And so we're going to just do a Q&A back and forth. If you're tuning in, please don't hesitate to put your your comments or questions into the chat, and we will answer those as well. All right. So,
I've got the first one. I got the first one. Is it better to do virtual staging or actual staging of the house?
very good question. So the answer is it depends. Okay. So if you already have furniture in the home, and we can repurpose it and reuse it, then actual staging is going to do well. Okay. However, if you're already moved out or you're planning on moving, then we would want the home to be vacant, empty, and then we would do virtual staging and maybe some light staging in kitchen and bathroom areas. Just add a touch so it's not so cold, and we want it to feel warm when people walk in, even if it is an empty home physically. But virtual staging will give them a good idea. They can revert back to those pictures. They can pull them up on their phones when they're walking through the home. That's a lot of what I do is if we're going into a vacant home and there is some virtual staging, I will pull that up as we're walking through so that they can see the space allocation. Hey, here's a queen size bed. This is how it's going to fit, because not everybody can see that visual and really envision what their furniture is going to look like in the home. Okay. So which is better? Again, it depends on the situation. Actual staging, if you can do it right with the furniture that you have, um, can be very beneficial. But virtual staging gives them the opportunity to dream and imagine and envision what the space could be.
Yes, I've done both. I've done actual staging, which was, rather expensive. The house did sell, and then I've done virtual staging, which was less expensive, and the house sold. So it's going to sell either way it goes. It just depends on the preference of the seller and the bank account of the realtor because they have to pay for that. So it just depends.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. And I will say that staging is necessary. Whether it's virtual or actual, it is necessary in order to sell the home because you have to give some idea. People need to envision on some level. And just providing a blank canvas, especially in this market right now, homes are sitting for a very long time just
Mhm.
empty. So it's very important that you have some sort of staging, whether it
So
ranges from light to heavy.
if you do virtual staging, that means that someone has to take pictures of the rooms. So why can't the realtor just use the pictures from her phone, her or his phone, to take the photos instead of hiring a professional photographer?
Yeah, so I ask this question a lot. Like, can I just take them on my phone and send them to you, or can you just take them on your phone, like to cut cost, right? Because all of this, and as Vanda stated with the staging, right? Your realtor is covering this, but it is a part of their compensation that they're going to receive, right? So it's a part of packages that we offer. There are different stages for your different comfort levels, right? But the idea is to make sure that your home presents itself the very best from the very start. Okay. So most often when someone takes photos with their phone, they have to go back 60 days later and get professional pictures done to make the listing more appealing. We just want to start the right way. And so it's not that we can't take photos with our phones. I think I'm a very good photographer on my phone. However, I would be doing you a disservice to take pictures on my phone. And here's why. Goes back to the virtual staging. Virtual stagers, it works best with professional photos. Okay. So they make sure that they capture the space and they can plan it appropriately. Right. Also, with the pictures, professional pictures, capturing the best lighting, the best angles in order to make sure that the views are there. And when you're working with a professional photographer, they know how to capture those, and you can tell them if there's something in particular that you want to emphasize, and they're going to make sure that they serve you well. So yeah, no, we're not taking phones pictures on our phones.
I
We're
got
going to
this
hire the
great
professionals.
iPhone. I got this great Android phone that takes these great pictures.
I hear you, but we're not doing it. It
Not doing
sounds
it.
great, even for investment properties. Like even for investment properties that you're going to do, I say like, okay, just get when you're ready to resell that investment property, having professional pictures done. It's worth the cost, and the cost of photos is not as much as it could be. I think that you get photos, there's videographers, there's drones now, so they're doing aerial views. So there's so much layers to it. At least get the professional photos.
Mhm.
Um, Videos are amazing to be able to provide 360 tours of the home. So people can do virtual walkthroughs, cuts down on showings, because people are purchasing from the internet, literally clicking and saying, I want to submit an offer. And the more you have to offer them, the better it is. Now, of course, if you are living in that home, for safety concerns, you may not want to put as much exposure to the property out there. Totally understand that, but we definitely need professional photos.
And take down those personal photos in the house so that the pictures don't show your family on the wall.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
All
that's
right.
inside the house. What about outside the house? We don't call it necessarily staging outside the house. We call it curb appeal. What would you recommend for that?
Yeah, so you definitely need curb appeal, front and back. So front is going to be your curb appeal. Backyard is your landscaping and the view of what you have to offer. But curb appeal is extremely important because aside from the photos that they may have seen online, um, what if they didn't go online? What if they're just driving through your neighborhood because it's a neighborhood that they want to live in and they're looking for houses? You know, I used to do that all the time when I was looking for a house. Like, let me just drive by wasting gas. Gas was cheaper then, but just going by like trying to find that house, right? And so your curb appeal matters because if they're not getting that when the lawn was cut view from the pictures online, and they pull up and the grass is overgrown, you know, there's just junk in front of the yard, the, you know, shutters are falling off and things like that. they're not going to want to purchase that home. You want to have that sign, your realtor's agent sign out in front with beautiful landscaping and beautiful curb appeal because it's attractive and it will attract those buyers that may not have started online, but they will end up online because they're going to search that address. And you want them to search that address, right? You want them, they're not with their realtor right there. You want them to search that address, pull up those photos, pull up any video, and go, I got to get in and see this house, right? You want them to be driven to call your realtor or call their agent and get into that house and book an appointment. I have literally seen it where people will sit outside, call the agent. They've called me and said, hey, I'm outside right now. Can I get in to see the house? And I'm like, hey, I'll make it work. I'll get over there. I'll call another agent, get them to open the door for you. Now we have to have forms, get your forms filled out before you show. But yeah, so it is a very important thing to make sure that you've got that curb appeal going. Backyards, staging the backyard. If you have a large patio, okay, or a large yard. Just putting something out there. Again, we want to give a warm, cozy, inviting feeling, and we want to just give people a visual. We want them to see themselves out there around a fire pit, or we want them to see them being able to lounge in the backyard or whatever they're going to use it for, but just giving them an idea of um, how fitting it could be for their family.
So a couple of things that are inexpensive as far as outside is power washing the house, the driveway, the sidewalk, because here in Houston, there's black soot that covers everything. So if you can
Mhm.
get that power washed and get everything bright and clean looking and some mulch, pull up the big old bushes that are overgrown, put some smaller bushes there and mulch it, put a few little flowers out. And Janila and I both have resources for landscapers and power washers and handy people that can help with this process. So don't let it seem overwhelming that you have to do it all by yourself. Use us. We're a team. We can help you out. We can put the right people in place to help you get your house sold.
So, so I'm glad you mentioned that because it can seem very overwhelming when you hear the list of things and we're going through your home and saying, okay, well, we need to declutter. All right, we need to depersonalize, right? Clutter is going to be that organization, making sure that you've taken down, just piles of whatever. My house is mail, but whatever's going on, just decluttering, making it so that it's as clean countertops as possible, clean tabletops, that they're not walking into a pile of laundry. Making sure that you declutter the home and depersonalize. So, like Vanda said, taking those personal photos off the wall, degrees, things that have your name on, take it off the wall. And we can put up some stock photos or things like that if you want to replace it and not just have bare walls. We get that. But yeah, we want to make sure that we declutter, depersonalize, take care of the landscaping, and really make it viewable. A lot of times we have an attachment to our homes and we start to take things personally when it's like, well, this is my house. Yes, but you're trying to get it to not be your house. That's the whole point of selling, trying to get it not to be your house. Okay. And so through your best efforts, it's making sure that you just put that best foot forward from the jump. So whenever you are ready is when you're ready to go to market. But now is a good time to start considering those things.
Yes, February. Yep, it's a good time to start that process so that in April you're ready to list, get it sold by May, move by June, be in your new house for the next school season or the fall coming up. It's perfect time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so pet photos, when we're talking photos in the listing process, right? We want to make sure that we have at least a week to get to the listing. So we like to do coming soon, And then we have a coming soon date, then we have a listing date. Photos are going to take 24 to 72 hours to get back, along with any videos and aerial shots. And so we want to make sure that that falls within that week so that we can get everything accomplished. So that before we do the coming soon, we essentially want to be ready for photos, ready to go to market. And we want the last thing is we're just waiting on those photos to come in. We've already got our list price, the listing description, all of that should be done. And we're just waiting for photos. We pop those photos in, and then we are ready to list your home and start drumming up anticipation of the first open house, and really setting the stage for your market. Um, Vanda, do you have anything else in regards to listing and preparing for listings?
What do you
Vanda,
think
I
that would
represent
make
more
it?
buyers. Vanda does a lot of listings. So I represent more buyers. So I know what they're looking at when they pull up to your house. And Vanda is the one that's helping a lot of people sell their homes and also sell and buy at the same time. So kind of, can you talk about that a little bit, selling and buying? Because I know a lot of people have fears really quickly about that process. Like, I've purchased a home, but my home hasn't sold. I'm scared about that time in between.
Yeah, because if you have a home for sale and you're trying to go somewhere else, it's called a contingency. It's going to be contingent on you selling your other home if you're going to even qualify to get the next home. So it's kind of like a dance here, and it's a very, things can go bad while you waiting to get this one under contract, get this one sold, and you're trying to sell here. But there is a thing called a lease back. So if you sold your home before you're ready to move into the other one, you can do a lease back with your new owner. So basically, you're renting out your home to yourself. You're renting your home out to your new buyer. Now, instead of you being homeowner, now you're a renter for maybe a month or two or whenever. And I've had that happen. And those are things that we need to talk about at the beginning so we know how to time the next transaction. Because we really don't want to put a contract on another house before yours is sold, but then we don't want you to be homeless either. So.
Right. It's a very fine line to navigate, and but we're here to help. We'll get you right. I work with a lot of renters transitioning, and so as a renter, it's very similar. They're like, "Hey, I don't want to tell my landlord that I'm moving out, and then my home is not ready, or it's we can work all of those things out to make sure that the timeline fits just right because it's better to be early, especially on a rental, than it is to be later. Okay. Because there are options, buyout options for your lease and things like that. That we can speak to more specifically. But there are options on the early side. It's never a good idea to be on the later side in any scenario, right? Not waiting too late till you're already in foreclosure to think about selling and things like that. So get to us early, and we will be more than happy to assist you.
And if
All
you're
right.
coming, if you're coming up to the end of your lease term, you have like 90 days. Now is the time to start looking and getting prepared. You don't want to wait until now. You got to sign a new lease because I think they want you to sign them like 2 months before your lease expires. And then you're in this cycle again for another year. So you want to
Mhm.
get out of that. And like Janila said, we can help you to get out of that lease agreement, especially if you're buying. And if they put something bad on your credit after you've already bought your home, we can get that removed. But you've already bought the most expensive thing you're ever going to buy, and that's your house. So, don't go out and buy a car or anything like that. But yeah,
Right.
that's my advice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. So, we are going to close out this session of Ask the Experts. We thank you for tuning in. You can follow me on Instagram at RE with Janila B. And you can contact me via text or call at 281-215-3307. Vanda?
So my Instagram is the EXP Mentor, and other social sites is Vanda Crossley.
The telephone number one more time.
773-678-1085.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this session of Ask the Experts. We will be back on the second Wednesday in March, bringing you more hot topics, market updates, and news you can use. Thank you for joining us and have a great one. Bye.
Good one. Bye-bye.